What it do? It's your boy Young Soul, and I'm here with Golden and Nima. Tap in.
Oh.
For sure.
What's going on, everybody? With Young Soul, how you feeling?
I'm good. You know, it's been a minute since we linked it. Like really overdue.
Yes. We were just talking about that though. Like, had to be at least 2 years from change or 3 years, which is crazy. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, and I know so much like different for really both of us. Shit, the world a whole totally different place. So I'm just glad to be tapping back in.
Literally, we went through the pandemic, and I know that was crazy because you have a baby girl, and she was here through that. So I know that was just crazy. Life has definitely changed. Yeah, 2 years of change. Well, before we were talking about some on South Park, and that dropped. So of course I want to get into that. And if you're a real soul fan, you know when it dropped. It was years and change ago, but you know when it dropped and you heard it. I paid for the hold on, you dropped it. Was it we paid for the SoundCloud link or was it the Apple Music link?
It was a private link, but it came like with the physical album too. Like I don't even know if a lot of folks remember, but my laptop caught on fire from like how many CDs I was trying to push out. Yeah.
So let's
like, people really supported this shit, and it kind of surprised me because like I was trying to be different with the rollout. So you know, I went for like the billboard and actually asking people to support me. Like, hey, buy this product. Like, you really like want to invest in me and shit. And we ended up selling like close to 1,000 copies. So I mean, I was proud. Like, even selling 100, even selling 50.
Because of course, R.P. to Nipsey, what he did. Yeah. You know, his first album sold 100 copies for $100. R.P. to him.
Or was it 1,000 for 100?
Was it 1,000 for 100? It was either 100 or 1,000, but he did. It was that solid. Yeah. And he was like, fuck it. Because he was like, if y'all gonna support me, this shit, that's love. Damn, okay. Damn. So, you know, he's like he said, they did 1,000 copies. If you heard it, you know that you felt what he put into it. Because we was already waiting on the album.
Yeah, that was a big thing. Like, niggas hadn't really heard nothing from me. Like, the only time you had really got to hear me perform was like, if you came to a show, and that would like really make it special like at the beginning, cause niggas knew I had good shit, so it was just like word of mouth. And when you think about it, it's really probably the most effective way to really promote some shit to hear from your nigga. Be like, cause that nigga hard, cause we got to pull up to the show. Then you come, and it's like when I feel like when I get on stage, like you know, I got a way of like making folks lock in on me, so where you really forget how many people in the room, whether it's 100 or whether this shit is 50 or 20 or 30.
Do you feel like the performance and the stage is like gonna give feedback way more than just like dropping because like I guess like I feel like nowadays the push is singles and YouTube, and do you think the performance is gonna get a deeper feel for what you know what you trying to get across? Because that's literally because you had like we was talking about in the first interview, you did your own tour. So it's like, you know, you comfortable in this, you know, in this setting, like.
Yeah, with the performing, that shit just come with time and just like confidence and like knowing like I think of it like this: if you really live in that shit, like it's easy to like recall. Like Jay-Z said, the rapper's just a play to them. Y'all recall. He said y'all record. I recall because I really been there before. You know, it's like you just really pulling it from memory. And my kind of music, it don't really like demand a lot of action because I'm really asking you to listen to me. So I don't really care about like if a nigga is really jumping up and down because like if you really got your ears open, like you gonna pick up something, you like I fuck with it, and then you go from there. But having done my own tours and all that kind of shit, it ain't even beyond just the performing. Like even when I get in the booth now, I can just like talk with a different swagger because a lot of people ain't even done it where I'm from, let alone like a lot of folks I would consider my peers right now. So
that vibe is very different. Especially what you gave on the album was very because we had already had a few solos from you. So it's like when we got the album, it was like this is so like this is literally what we was expecting from him. But how was that during the pandemic though? Like you being a performer, like not being able to like how was that though?
I mean, it took some adjusting, really just like on a family scale. You down to like stuff with like my kid and like my parents, like
Yeah.
my schedule, the people who like I'm around me, my team, like the people what I'm focused on. It changed everything. But at the heart of it, it gave me a chance to really sit down and focus and regroup and be like, okay, I was putting a lot of energy into so many other places. Like, okay, maybe you concentrate on this one thing at this amount of time, and then like prepare for all the shit that might come after. But like lock in on this one goal, then I'd be, you know, like ahead of like shit where I was before I even stopped.
Right. Before the pandemic even came, because honestly, to be honest with y'all know all the hustlers never stop. All the people who was getting money before found ways, and you know they made their way continue through the pandemic. So now where do you feel like you are since you dropped the album, since Summer on South Park? Like,
Man,
being that we've been through a year, like
more aware, I'm more like consistent now. Like I got a real like recording routine that I try to like maintain. And like in the past I wasn't able to do that. Like even like living with my daughter, I never recorded like in my home, and that's where I was like a lot of the time.
Right.
So even being out of town in different place like where I'm really new. But so I had to find like just time to like devote time to like really working on my album. But I ended up finishing it. It's been done for like maybe a year or so now. But like with Corona,
Of course.
Really wanted to give it.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
I really wanted to get an album. I didn't want to drop that shit and have niggas listen to it for a week. Oh, this shit cool, bro, and then it's gone.
So let's talk about this, because this is a sidebar. Because of course he just blew my mind with that. Question for y'all: did we blow past the music in 2020 because of the pandemic? Like, did the artists make timeless music in 2020, or were the people even aware in 2020? Like, that's a good ass question, because like I know a lot of people didn't drop.
So much shit going on last year, and I don't even think people really if they went back and listed, they should be like, damn.
Like, yes, like
even down to like people passing away from like Corona. That's like a real thing.
That's like a real.
Yeah. Like when you know people like who not here no more, they like, bro, you was just healthy. Like,
or if you know somebody who got somebody, you know, a relative who, I'm like, that's like, they died from COVID. Like, that is ridiculous to me. Yeah, we getting deep. This is why we need this, because this is the second of many, so don't even worry. How do you even feel about the 9 songs you dropped on the project?
Man, they like was real personal. It was like my real life. It was therapy in the sense, getting through it, but like just pain like my real life. Cause you know, people hear me on stage or like see me out in public, like, damn, quiet little cool kid, baby face at times. But I don't think a lot of people really understand when I be like, you know, from South Memphis, like my life was really like this. It was a lot of this going on. I could have been this, but I ended up like taking this path. So I was just trying to give people insight just to like really to my real life. Me working on relationships, going back home, living in Memphis for the first time in like maybe 4 years.
Why? Let's talk about why you decided to remove it on social media. What was that about?
Just started. I always feel like the project could have been better, honestly.
What? But why though?
Man, like just being a perfectionist. And
Yeah. Being a true artist. Because when I think about it, because somebody I listened to, I just thought about her. Yeva, shout out to Yeva. She about to drop her album, whether it's not dropped or not right now. She about to drop an album soon that we've been waiting on for so fucking long, because she's a true artist. She's singing her ass off, and it's like, I can respect that if you need to take the time to put together artistry. You know what I'm saying? But to remove it, it's to, what do you think that's doing to the supporters? Because now we waiting on like the next album. Like you said, I had got the spoiler, but now we waiting on the album.
I mean, that jump, like I said, it's been done though. It's coming out like the next 2 months. Welcome to Soulsville.
Okay. Oh, welcome to Soulsville. I think I seen it on IG. You know, you was spoiling it. Yes.
Yeah.
I seen it. Now, anti-anxiety and like Mono was kind of like, you know, that was relatable to me. I fucked with those tough.
Yeah, there was some real pains right there.
Yeah, I fucked with those tough. What had the feedback been for those?
Like them just be one of the ones that like touch people. But them like also two of the most personal songs. Like every song is like deep, but like them two is like I wrote at the anxiety. Like woke up one morning, my homie had just like he drive trucks and shit. He had just been in an accident, bro. Like fell asleep at the wheel, kind of shit. Just been in an accident. Really was not supposed to survive. He lived. He come home. Like he crashed at the crib. Wake up the next morning. The friend he was supposed to link with that night died from a drug overdose off pills. So just think about the like mental like psychology behind this shit. Like you know you just escaped death. You come to link with your dog. You feel me? He paid, bro. So like, and then I'm looking at folks around me like who really on the pills shit too. So I was just like
really deep, yeah, like really.
And I'm wondering like, damn, why these folks taking this shit up? But it's like, just sometimes the pressure of life just had you under so much anxiety.
Definitely, like honestly.
Like, I literally thought of the name for the song "Walking Through the Hood." I'm going to the store one night, just really paranoid, high, but just nigga pulling up driving too slow. A group of niggas, hoods on, I ain't no lights over. Dang, they might have caught me slipping. You feel me? Just little shit like that. But I know this like a real reality. You feel me? Like,
damn.
So it's like not a joke.
It's really not like seriously.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, the album's so fucking personal though. That's why I was saying like those two personally, anti-anxiety and like Mom, like I'm just like, oof, that shit there. Deep, like yeah, like y'all. That's what I'm saying. Like you haven't. I'm hoping and praying you will release it again because, of course, we are done with the pandemic. I don't agree with how he's saying it could have been better, but you know.
I just know it could have been better.
Artistry is artistry.
Yeah,
it's perfection is perfection.
Plus, I feel like the new shit is like 3-4 times better. It's
what?
Like it's a level of introspection that I really wanted to go into on some outside Parkway that I couldn't. Like I said, the album like I needed to make the album period, and the world just wanted to hear like a lot of the songs that I just had amassed for the album to that point. So
3-4.
I'm like, here you go. Like you gotta think I'm going on tour with Bobs. I don't have no music.
Yeah, on tour with Dreamville years ago. Yeah.
It's like 2018. Well, nah, 2019.
2019.
Yeah, 2019.
Years ago, yeah. On tour with Boss from Dreamville. Barely in the music gap. But you said this man saying 3-4 times better.
Yeah.
So what the? Okay, now I was gonna say I was gonna talk about the project because you had said something about that in April, but of course, what? Now, are we gonna get some visuals and shows with this album?
Yeah. The plan, honestly, is to put out a video for every like song. It's gonna be about 9-10 songs this time, around the same range.
Yeah, he's saying 3-4. I'm still on it 3-4 times better than. That's why I'm like, if you was a true soul fan and you heard the album, like shit. Seriously. Get into some randoms. Describe and explain your cover art for Summer on South Parkway. You got, it was like streets. It was the streets of South Memphis.
Yeah.
A floral. I'm gonna show this song. You know, of course I'm gonna show you guys. Explain, you know, the cover art for the album.
Man, it's like it's just a journey, like the butterfly, like you know, breaking out the cocoon. Like I said, the album for me was like kind of going back home to like heal my inner child, because I had a kid on the way. So I'm going back home to like work, stack up, stay out the way, try to work on music when I can. really like working way more than anything, and just like really being around like family, like my dad, like my parents. Like I said, I've been gone for like 4 years traveling, doing shows.
So really just insight of your life, like the album, like honestly that was a great explanation because like he been saying the album. So
yeah, and that's just the hood. Like that's the intersection to like a lot of shit.
Let them know please let them know which
well, like one of the streets leads to like South Parkway, which is like a real major street like in my life. And the other one leads to like Kerr Street, which is like another like major street like in terms of like my development. Like even that store, like we went to that store a lot for the Hunt Brother pieces. If you're from the city, you know. You feel me? The whole flat.
Let's get into this IG picture you posted on April 8th. Soul Season is the caption.
Yeah, I'm dropping, you know.
One Young Soul on Instagram. I'll let y'all know or follow him. But this picture on Instagram, concert. Let them know where you was at. Of course, I'm gonna show y'all. You know, go like this image on Instagram. But where are you performing and what you know? What was the feeling behind this?
I think it was in Nashville.
And you got booked yourself?
Nah, one of the homies had a show for his birthday. And he just asked us to come out like and do a set. So I think we did like maybe 30, 45 minutes. It was like a nice ass place in Nashville. I can't think of it out the like top of my head.
Another one I want to get into, which of course we were just talking about. This was posted 2020.
Trench.
Yeah, this is South Park and Macmillan.
Macmillan.
Yeah, Macmillan.
Macmillan according to Blake Youngster.
Macmillan.
Yeah, so like that's his street right there.
London B, like a nice story. Shout out London B.
Yeah, then my dog.
Shout out London B. So basically what we was talking about on the cover, South Memphis.
Yeah,
just
really
give an insight of where you from on the porch. Now this is a significant porch. Now, of course, South Memphis Fall, of course. But what about this significant porch? Because we got 3 pictures here. Yeah, how much y'all?
Yeah, just like really being like in the hood, you know, just posting. Like I remember it was like a time like where a nigga like couldn't really go past that part. Cause we were like new to the neighborhood. And like we were from like the other side. And I'm like we were really into it. So just like really being able to go back over there now, just kick it, really not even no disrespect for shit. Like all of them over there, really like a lot of them niggas guys now. You feel me? Like we went to school. You feel me? Niggas just cool. You feel me?
That's so crazy that I'm thinking about Chicago. I love to see it though. I mean, when the city unite, when we can, you know, when we can keep the murder rate down. This is being optimistic. Top 3 goals for yourself this year. This is my last random for you before I let you go.
Top 3 random. The 901 Music Festival. Executing my album perfectly and going on tour immediately after. And then after that, you know, take some time out, chill with my family, and then coming out and then y'all can see me everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm not gonna lie, because honestly, you was touring like a motherfucker before the pandemic. So it was like, we was gonna see your face that whole year. Like,
oh God, I was really fun.
I mean, like, we was gonna see your face that whole year. Where can we follow you everywhere? YouTube, where can we subscribe?
Instagram, #1, like the #1, Young Soul, YOUNGSOUL 1 at the end. Twitter is like 1 Young Soul, same thing. Facebook, you niggas can't have it. I'm too personal.
Alright. Literally, that's
right. Yeah, go tap in. Album dropping September 1st. Welcome to Soulsville. Really just a journey through the city. I tried my best to like really paint a picture of like going through the city and like looking at the way like we was raised and seeing how we might have formed like good and bad like habits, like in terms of like, you know, just living and thinking about how we could correct them ways. Like it's gonna be personal, of course, because it's my journey, but I think it's somewhere in there that everybody can find some truth for themselves and like use it to grow themselves. It ain't like on no preaching shit. It's just like a real, like, it's like a movie.
Yeah. And shit, just being shit like insightful and being somebody who relatable, like this real shit. Yeah. I fuck with it. Yeah. Young Soul, One Key, Golden in Love.
You used to love me like mama. Yeah. Some time ago I remember me drowned in depression and Hennessy. You came along, saw a different me. You told me you felt you remember me. So you told me secrets I never speak, and I told you things that I never shared. It's crazy how stories were so familiar. Girl, you could have swore that we been here, but you got a spirit just like my mother. It's funny how much you remind me of her.